Well, good evening, Karen and Tom. That's right. The aircraft is still here. It is expected to be removed tomorrow, weather permitting, of course. It will be guarded by state troopers overnight. And it's actually the state troopers who say it was a job well done by the pilot, who stayed calm in what you can imagine was a very stressful situation. Traffic was backed up for most of the day, so drivers could catch a glimpse of a rare sight.
You don't see this very often, but thankfully it worked out today. Like I said, the pilot kept his composure. He remained calm in a stressful situation. That's what we're thankful for today.
The plane, which crash landed around 10 a.m., now rests on the side of I-10 East next to bushes.
I call it a crash.
The pilot, James Ritter, spoke with media after, still in disbelief.
As I was coming down for the landing, I think I skimmed across the top of an 18-wheeler, which threw me over to the side and into the trees I went.
As seen in this animation from Radar Box, Ritter had taken off from the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport. He says he was finishing his flight when trouble started.
The engine started shuddering, and then all of a sudden it just locked up, dead prop, and I'm a glider, so I'm trying to find a place to put it. And I picked interstate to land on.
Remarkably, Ritter walked away with a cut hand. Nobody else was hurt.
We're assisting the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, during the investigation. They're the investigating agency. We're going to help with traffic control and any other assistance they may need.
As officials look over the plane for answers as to how this happened, Ritter is just happy it didn't end tragically.
Thank the Lord that I'm walking away, you know, first and foremost, but it definitely is considered a crash in my book.
Now, as Ton mentioned earlier, lanes on the interstate are open at this time, but officials warn people and drivers that if this aircraft is removed tomorrow, there will be lane closures. In the meantime, they're also encouraging drivers to maintain their speed and not slow down, because that is what's causing a lot of the backup and the delays tonight. Reporting live, Jay Cunningham, Eyewitness News.
He's dangerous, watch out! He's hitting people, watch out!
This man was terrifying. All he wanted to do was hit people. He didn't care.
The video will make you gasp. In it, a man is seen walking around Bourbon and Dumaine streets, choosing random targets, then hitting them.
I saw him punch 4 people.
Calicia Smith saw the bizarre scene unfold last Wednesday night while celebrating her birthday.
My one thought was, you hurt my friend and you can't get away with it, and we won't let you do this here in our community.
I was struck here.
That friend, Don Kesslering, says he came without warning.
I fell down on the ground, got up, and my hands were just numb and in pain at the same time. And I realized that a man struck me. This was a random act of violence, and it's a misdemeanor. It's not a misdemeanor to me because I went to the hospital.
The two are still trying to make sense of it.
So my question is, how do you prevent this man from hurting someone else?
But say the situation taught them there is good in people.
And you have everybody, black, white, tall, short, old, all, and we were trying to just stop. We were trying to stop him without hurting anybody, all together. Just because one person is broken doesn't mean all the French Quarter is scary.
And while those targeted try and heal,
So we really want people to keep an eye out for him.
their message to others is be on the lookout.
If something happens like this to people, say something, do something.
Because this random act, they say, could happen again to anyone, anywhere. Jay Cunningham, Eyewitness News. Saints players, celebrities, even the Channel 4 News team have all jumped on the Face app bandwagon. The app realistically alters photos you submit, changing your hairstyle, gender, and age.
I turn my camera on. I am hot.
woman!
Sure, it's a lot of fun, but there are some concerns, like if the company based in Russia has access to your photos and other personal data.
You are essentially giving the information about your face to others.
Tulane cybersecurity professor Tom Thomas says, like with any app, you should be cautious.
The consumers need to be aware that any information that you put on any mobile device is become a currency for governments, become a currency for companies, and what they're doing with that information, your information, something you should be concerned about.
A Face app statement on TechCrunch.com addresses users' uneasiness, saying in part they only upload photos that you select and other images on your device are never transferred. It also claims photos are deleted from their server within 48 hours of being uploaded.
Face app, though, they're pulling information about, your face. And again, this is private data. So everything these days that you put online becomes not private. So you have to be concerned with, the privacy of your information if you're comfortable releasing that information.
So as you snap, click, and share,
Let's try super young Jeff.
be aware,
He looks like Chad Michael Murray.
because these pictures may be worth more than a few laughs. They could be worth your privacy. Jade Cunningham, Eyewitness News.
Well, good evening, Paul. According to the New Orleans Fire Department, 2 women, 2 young kids, as well as 2 New Orleans police officers were hurt in this ordeal. We know that one of the women suffered burns and that the rest suffered smoke inhalation. I was able to come out here for most of the day today, and I spoke with people, and they tell me they're absolutely devastated about what happened. On the corner of Washington and South White Streets is Unity One Beauty Supply, a place people in the community called home.
It's more than just a beauty salon. It's more than just a barbershop. It has been a lifeline to a lot of people around here who have lost their way.
Open for decades, friend Elvira Ruffin says customers became family. Everybody was welcome and the owners helped whoever needed it.
They feed the people, they bring them clothes, they let them work. They help so many people here. I mean, homeless people, people on drugs, people that nobody don't want to be bothered with.
It's so hard for me to talk about this because it just doesn't feel real.
Owner Beverly Smith spent most of the day with her husband John, looking at 38 years of memories now gone.
It's like a nightmare. It's like I'm still asleep. I just can't. I don't want to look at it. And I just walked in and they had wart all over the floor. The ceiling is coming down.
They both had just left the shop when they heard of the fire, both stunned by the news.
And they called me and told me the building was on fire. I said, how could that be?
Seeing the damage has brought a sense of reality to the situation, and as they start to pick up the pieces,
Everybody will get it back together.
neighbors say it's their turn to help.
They have a heart for people, and it shows not in what they say only, but also in what they do.
And Smith welcomes it because for her, it's all about getting the shop back open to help a community so close to her heart.
I want this neighborhood to know that even though this happened, we are very resilient. We can still come together, even if we have to do it outside until we can build back up. I want to build it back up.
Well, the owner tells me that her focus, of course, as you just heard, is on rebuilding the salon, but tonight her focus is on the victims. She hopes that they have a speedy recovery. Reporting live, Jay Cunningham, Eyewitness News.
Well, good evening. The more we look into this story, the more bizarre it gets. We did get some surveillance, though, as you just mentioned, that may give us a better idea of what may be happening. A story that began in Mid-City has taken us to Harahan, River Ridge, and Wagaman. Now we go to Lakeview, where late Monday night the mysterious booms were heard again, this being one of them.
Loud boom, woke up, startled. First thing I thought was a train car exploded.
The surveillance video shows a flash of light followed by the loud bang.
If it was a transformer, I imagine Entergy would have been out here fixing something.
And it's not like you lost power or anything.
No.
A noise loud enough to awaken cars and people in the area.
You get to the point where this is continuing to happen.
Catherine Norton just can't figure it out, but knows this one hit close to home.
Thought that, okay, maybe there's a derailment, or maybe a car ran into another one, or something of that nature. But it's not, because I'm used to these tracks. So when you've been here since 1984, you're used to all the sounds.
Norfolk Southern had nothing unusual to report. Also, the video shows no train in the area at the time of the incident.
It's some kind of explosion that generates light, some kind of energy.
We also confirmed there's no filming in the neighborhood, a theory that's been floating around.
Whatever it was out of scope of the camera.
Even with video showing these bomb-like sounds, its source remains a mystery, leaving many with more questions than answers as to what it could be.
It's just bizarre.
The curiosity, I think, is the biggest factor. People want to know, what is it? What is the sound?
Look, I spent a lot of time today reaching out to multiple agencies. That includes the New Orleans Police Department, City Hall, City Park, and they are unfamiliar with what's going on. They had no reports of it. I also reached out to Entergy. They said it was nothing on their end. Now, a theory that has been mentioned before is hydrogen-filled balloons. And when those are lit, it gives off a similar type of effect to the flashing light as well as the explosive sound afterwards. That's not confirmed, but again, that is just a theory. Reporting live, Jade Cunningham, Eyewitness News. Hey, good evening, Ton and Karen. Yeah, you know, a lot of people are traveling this weekend. We have been here for most of the day today. I can tell you that some rain showers and storms have moved across this area, mostly this afternoon. Some of the rain showers have been heavy at times, but I can tell you they're fast moving. As soon as they pop up, they're out. So that's definitely some good news. As I mentioned, we have been here for quite some time, and I can tell you there are a lot of people who want to get home. Planes taking off, luggage rolling. The airport Thursday was a symphony of motion. Inside, the music continued.
A nice and smooth background.
As worried travelers,
hopefully we'll make it home,
mixed in with the usual hustle and bustle.
I've noticed more passengers lingering around more so than usual. You know, usually they come and go more quickly.
Cancellations and delays were seen on the board.
So far, so good.
Some keeping a close watch on the radar.
It's stressful because you're trying to get home and now you're in an airport and you're stuck here.
Michelle Pico.
The weather here has been spectacular.
Tried switching to an earlier flight.
It's a 180.
But couldn't.
We'll just sit here and eat lots of airport food.
Joining others who are in the same boat.
When you don't have a choice, then you accept the situation, and that's it.
Have you looked at the radar at all?
I have not. It's probably a good thing that I don't.
As many waited for the storms to move through,
there's no panic.
Life inside the airport carried on, with some lucky enough to board and others who hoped they'd be able to do the same.
Positivity of being able to make it home.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to stay positive throughout all of this. It is encouraged if you are flying out of the airport this evening to check the status of your flight, because as this board shows, there definitely are some delays and cancellations that may impact your travel. Reporting live, Jade Cunningham, Eyewitness News.